look at websites. And so the mobile site, I have to do additional tweaks above and beyond what I do to the desktop site. So know that. So let me know
Susan,
when you're ready.
I've started the recording.
Okay.
And,
I never
now,
heard back from Alva, so I would say let's just launch.
Launch.
my internet is a little skittish, even when I'm hosting the meeting.
Yeah.
And I find if I take my video away, I'm more stable. So you'll just see my name, but my heart and my ears are all there.
Thanks, Tom. All right, I'm gonna share it. And okay, I'm on Google Chrome. And let me just exit this. Excuse me. Okay. So I was working in on the mobile section. So feel free to stop me anytime you have a question, okay? All right, so the website is there are 3 colors on this website. There's black, there's white, and then there's this gold. And as you all know, you see gold a lot associated with African American Juneteenth and other sites in that realm. So I think it's and it's a lovely color. It appeals to a lot of people. So there's some rhyme and reason why I did that. So it started off you have the header at the top, the logos at the left, the navigation is home, who we are, what we do, resources, and then join us. Then you've got a link to the Facebook page, a link to YouTube, your YouTube channel, and then a link to the events. Now, that events link actually links to the Join Us page because the events are on that page. So it's a simple configuration. So I found this really great video. I hope you guys like that. Now, video will work great if somebody is looking at this on desktop, but what will happen in most cases on mobile is I'll have to replace that image with some kind of screenshot, of that image that's static, because broadband doesn't always allow for that. So that automatically kicks in. That static image automatically displays when broadband isn't available. Okay, so now I use some of the Selma trip images because they were really great. Excuse me. This is, again, we're on the home page. I'm scrolling down. We've got this great image of the group. And then this is copy from the current website that I just enhanced a little bit because I felt like it was just beautiful and read well. Excuse me just a minute. The learn more buttons link to the who we are page. Okay, so here we go. So you've got those headlines: we gather seeking diversity and mutual respect, a promise of free and open dialogue, our goal, unity of purpose. So I picked up that wonderful sculpture because I felt like that really conveyed that. And just know if there are other images you would prefer in these spaces, that is certainly a discussion.
Susan,
Yeah.
excuse me, I assume using images like the one that's on the screen now, the brick sculpture, they're in the public domain and it's okay. We don't have to give credit to
No,
the
I mean,
Legacy Museum.
no, those are, that's not something we have to worry about. And any of the stock images that I've used on here, it's licensed. So, because I'm doing this for you, there's no issue with that. If you want to use stock images, but these are all basically snapshots, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's not an issue. Now, I'm very careful about that kind of thing. Then, this is still on the home page, and this talks about upcoming events. Because you've got the monthly meetings, and so I don't know how far out you all plan, who's gonna talk when or whatever. But this could also be used for other organizations that are in your sphere, right? And events that you want to help promote. So I think with a little discussion, we can always keep that full. So this is the abbreviated version. When we go to event details, and this is all just for placement right now. But the event details tell more about the event, and we'll look at that. Then we've got at the bottom, this is the footer, and the subscribe, this will link to your MailChimp, Judy. Okay, so this is where they add their names and their email address and so forth. And then to the left of there, this is information that is on all the pages.
Susan, excuse me again.
Yeah.
With this subscribe button box, will the signing up take place automatically, or will it be as it is now where I get an email telling me the person wants to have their name added?
Well, let me tell you how I typically do that. And I haven't done this with MailChimp because I typically work with Constant Contact, but they all offer the same thing. This is what I would recommend. On MailChimp, although I have worked in MailChimp, you can have segmented lists, right, Judy?
You can have what?
You can have segmented lists. Like, in other words, okay, I think you can. So what you do is you have one list in your MailChimp account that is called website submissions, right? Because it's very important to know where your signups come from. Whether they come from a Facebook promotion or the website, wherever they come from. So what I've done in the past, and we'll make sure we can do this. I'll have to look at your account. And if you can give me access and then change your password after that, that would be great, because then I can get it set up for you. But what would happen is the visitor would put in their information, they'd hit submit, they'd get a little thank you, letting them know that it had processed. And what should automatically happen is that name will go automatically into your list on MailChimp. Now, I imagine on MailChimp, because this is often an option, is MailChimp will ask you, do you want to be notified when somebody submits, right? And maybe that's why you're getting those notifications. You don't have to get those if you don't want them. And I mean, it depends on how you want it set up. Does that help?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. So you're, and I can't stress this enough, now that you all are, you know, formalizing more of these processes and so forth, your database where you collect information, and I'm assuming you store the majority of that information in MailChimp. That's what a lot of places do, in that kind of software, is that keeping your information segmented is super duper important, especially down the road. So we can talk about that if that's something you want to explore. But what I did over on the left-hand side is I stated that Interracial Conversations is an all-volunteer organization. Because what we don't want is expectations that somebody's going to respond to them right away if they want to reach out. Okay, so it's just managing expectations. And so I really, really recommend that you have a branded email, which is info, and this is what I'm suggesting. It could be something else if you want. info@interracialconversationsnnk.org. And what would happen if somebody sends an email to that address, we can designate who that goes to. So it just hypothetically, Judy, if that's something you handle, those inquiries could go right into your email account. And you're going to see a subject line that says website inquiry from IRC or something like that. So that can be routed so there isn't another account to manage. In other words, it would just come through. But I put the message on the bottom that we gather on the fourth Tuesday of every month. Where we gather, everyone is welcome, and so forth. So that message is across, you know, on the footer across the board. And I put it in the body copy too, in places. So do y'all have any questions so far?
I have
No.
one question. So Susan, did you add the mission statement anywhere on the website?
Yes, I will show you where that is. I've got it. I've got a photo of the poster.
Right.
But in the what we do section, I was gonna build that into the copy.
Okay.
And we may need to move some of this around. You'll have to give me your feedback. So let me show you what it looks like on a mobile site, just to get an idea how somebody may see this on their phone. Can everybody see that? And I think it's pretty pleasing. So that's how it would look on your phone. And of course, that'll vary from phone to phone, depending how big it is. Okay.
Looks good.
All right, so let me go to the next one, the next page. All right, this is the who we are. Now, I had this image because we did a story in fall of 2021 that Pastor Williams was interviewed for. And this was an image that I used of the children, which, you know, I think it's a lovely image, but so I put that in there. And then I'm scrolling down. The image to the left is Yeah.
Who is that handsome dude?
Isn't he great? Isn't he great? All right, so that's the image from the from Martin Luther King's church, you know, when there. And then this is because this is the sidebar story. So there's Pastor Williams, because we had that great image from the story. And then there's this little caption, and there's a link to the local scoop story if somebody wants to read it in its entirety, right? When you have links and they're reciprocal links, it helps to really build traffic. It's super important. And if somebody wants to read more, let me just show you. It opens a page on top of the website, so the website doesn't go away, and it opens to the story. Okay. So that's where we are. And then this was copy that you all had on the website that I tweaked a little bit. And that links to join us. And then of course the footer is the same. Okay. You want to see the mobile? I'm not sure I've tweaked the mobile yet. Let me see. Yeah, maybe I did.
Susan, I see that
Yeah.
Alva and Linwood are both on the call now.
You all, I'm sorry about late.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, I
Y'all.
apologize.
Not a problem. Feel free.
I'm headed to an event.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions. That's not a problem. Okay, so what I'm showing is there's a desktop version that most people would see on the desktop of their laptop or computer. And then you have the mobile version. You essentially have two websites where people are, the mobile version and the desktop version. Okay. All right. So that's who we are. Then this is what we do. This is the page that's not done yet. And the copy's not done. This is just all filler. But this was another racial, another photo with kids from different races and so forth, having a good time together. This is where I put the mission statement. This may not end up being the best one, but that's a really strong image. And then this is where we can talk about what we do. I want to emphasize again about the monthly meetings and then some of the events that are typically held. But this copy is not, this is just dummy copy right now. Okay. And then we go to resources. This is the page that I'm pretty excited about. And let me tell you why, is that Interracial Conversations has an opportunity to build relationships. And I mean, you've already been doing this. It's just a matter of including them, but with other organizations and agencies that want to support your efforts, right? So I'm calling it good to know links. And there's a lot of information out there. These images and the copy is just, they're holding places, but you could have a dozen organizations there. And then we could do a separate page for videos, but so you could have that information. It could be a wonderful resource for people in the region, and it would help to build traffic, to increase traffic to your site. So these are dummy images that are just for position right now. And so somebody would need to gather that information for me, but I'd be happy to place it all. Then you have a YouTube channel, which is great. It's great, but it's even better to have your videos on the website in addition to your YouTube channel. Again, it's all about traffic to your website. So if you like this, what I will do is, if someone can give me direction about which videos they'd like me to link in here, you know, we can do pretty much, I wouldn't do the full body of it because you have a lot of videos. But what I've set up here is we record our monthly presentations and share relevant videos from other trusted sources. Many of those videos are shown below. To see the full video library, go to the Interracial Conversations of the Northern Neck YouTube channel, so that there would be a link there. So all of this would be videos, which would increase your traffic. Do y'all have any questions about this? And if you have some other ideas of what you'd like to see on that page, I tried to make it, I tried to recommend options where you don't have to do a lot of work, you know, where you already have a lot of this information.
Susan, did I interrupt somebody?
No.
First of all, I can't imagine the work you put into this, and I do thank you. It's beautiful. I have a concern, and maybe you can assuage my concern, that we're emphasizing children, like this is a youthful area, and I think we might want to tone that down. If I guess 2 out of 3 of our big banner head photos are kids. Okay,
so let's go back. Let me just say this. This is the page where Unity in the community is going to be. I've got images that I haven't placed yet. So these are only holding places right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I do like this image, but if you don't want to use children, we can look at other images. That's not a problem. It's just something I had, which I felt people always respond, because teaching people, you know, education starts when you're young, right? To learn empathy and tolerance and so forth. So, not that we can't change at our age, but that's the kind of feedback that I need, Judy.
Okay, and well, I'll be interested in my colleagues' thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And then my other question is nuanced. Our long-term desire is to attract born here persons of color.
Mm-hmm.
And does this make it look like we're too polished? Help me out here, Tyron.
Well, first of all, let me say, I like the image of the children, the first one.
All right.
Because I think it emphasizes the need, the desire to have a childlike mentality when it comes to acceptance of everyone regardless. Because that's what children normally do. The only thing they want to do is to have fun with whomever is around.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
So I think that's great. I do agree with Judy that we should have some adults interaction as well, because we're trying to reach out to the adults primarily to get them interested and to show that same kind of synergy within the community that we're trying to build.
Okay,
Well-
that's an easy to do.
Okay.
I mean, I've got, you have to have images, you have to have visuals, and I'm gonna look through the Unity and community, in the community imagery. I think there's a lot of good stuff that Tom took that would be appropriate for this, but I haven't had time to look at it, so but I can absolutely address that. All right, so the last page is the join us page. And so this could be people, you know, your group add a presentation. What you don't have on the old one is a map, which I think is real important, that you have a map to show location of the meetings.
Mhm.
This is a copy that I, put in place, and everyone is welcome. And then these are the detailed upcoming events. Now, you may or may not want this, but and this can be easily taken out, it's not a big deal, is the RSVP. Like, say you had multiple events and you did want to manage your crowds, we could ask for an RSVP or not. That's entirely up to you. But this is where the extra detail, so people can read about what's coming, because I've seen this in your email blast. I think they're incredibly helpful, and entice them to join the group.
Does it look like Tom has a question? Is that a raised hand?
I don't see Tom.
I mean, his
I
hand.
have a question, and I think I might have asked this yesterday. So the email address that is on here is info@interracial conversations. Susan, if you scroll back up again
Right.
or down, yeah. And I asked you if that was an email that was currently being used or if that is a new one.
I don't think it's currently being used, but we can
Okay.
set that up. It's just,
So I want to ask the group, who is the recipient of that? Like, who's going to end up with that, having access to that?
You.
I mean, I don't mind being the recipient of it, but it just somehow I have to, I guess, create a new email account. I guess it's Gmail?
no, Lisa, you don't, because that's the beauty of it. Well, there's two ways we can do it. I can set up a standalone account that whoever has the password can access. Okay, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to forward these emails to a designated person. So that email would come into you or whomever, and the subject line would say, so you would know that it was from this website. It would say IRC website inquiry. So you would know that the message was from the Interracial Conversations website.
Okay.
So it's an easy thing to do. It's just a preference of how you would prefer, if you don't want to mix it into your personal stuff.
Well, okay, so
Or-
here's my thought about that, Susan.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when I'm at a meeting, people will ask me something and I will ask me for my email address. It seems like I should keep all the interracial conversation stuff at the same email address. So if I'm handing out info@interracialconversationsnnk.org, then I probably need to have access to that, correct?
I think that's a good thing, and because if you do it that way, there could be, like, just say you go on vacation or something, and we know you like to go on vacation, Lisa. So, which is a good thing, is that somebody else could check the account while you're gone,
Right,
you
okay.
know,
I mean, I don't think I should be the only one, in control of the account. I think,
Right.
it should be something that maybe anybody can have control of, but I don't mind being the one that receives the information and then forwards it to everybody else.
Right, because the issue is you don't have a designated phone number. You use Mount Olive Baptist Church as a meeting place. So you've got to have a way for people to reach out to you,
Right.
to the organization. And maybe, I mean, it could be a speaker or somebody who wants to get in front of the group or whatever. And so
Right.
you want to have some kind of avenue to do that. This is the way that it's not too invasive.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be the one
Yeah.
that manages those inquiries.
So, again, you have the mobile version. That's
So
set
here's a question that you asked that I'm going to ask the group. I do think it would be awesome to have a link to the digital version of the minority-owned business directory. Of course, that we don't have a digital version of the minority-owned business directory, but I think we should, because there's a lot of information that's in that directory that is out of date and needs to be updated. So how does one do that, Susan?
Can you hear me?
Is that
Well-
Linwood?
Yes,
When the business directory is on MakeBook's website, digitized as a PDF, and the digital platform is on MakeBook's website. There's a digital platform that has all those sites which we're looking to update it, but Cleon Rice has been serving as on need as needed basis to update businesses that come in and out of it. So we just need to get, but MakeBook.org has that information.
Let me go to that so we can kind of, because there's no reason why we can't. Hold on a minute. What is that website address for MakeCorp?
MakeCorp.org.
Okay, it's MaCorp Inc.
.org.
.org. No, that I'm sorry. I just don't. Would you give it to me one more time, please? Just spell it out for me. MakeCorp.
MaCorp.org.
MaCorp.org.
P.
Susan, MaYcorp.
No, not M-A-Y.
Oh,
MaCorp.org. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I put in there. Hold on.
Just put in www. I'm pulling it up right now. It's up there.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming up. I don't know, it's not coming up for me. I'll have to look at that, but
You want me to
there's
share
no,
my screen? You want me to share my screen? Have it up.
sure, I mean, that's fine. You want to do that, Linwood? I can stop my share and you can share yours. Okay, go ahead. MakeCorp. I don't know why it didn't come up.
yeah, it didn't come up for me either. I tried to do it on my phone.
Okay.
But this is the digital
Okay,
platform we established. All businesses are inside of here already. I mean, it's obviously 4 years old. A lot of this is on the since we were working to go back and get that work on, but it's already in place. I can see the links on that. That work. So it's internal to make what we see.
Is anybody else having
on.
trouble? Cause I can't get it to load either.
Neither can I.
Interesting.
so what we could do is we could put a link to that, you know, when all the little bugs are worked out, we can put a link to that instead of creating our own list. However, let me just say this again, there's real value in driving up the website that and the activity on the website when you have individual listings. So that's, I mean, that's up to y'all.
Well, I mean, I definitely think some link to the minority-owned business directory should be added, because I think
Okay.
that's a pretty cool thing that
Sure.
Interracial Conversations has done. And if you already have someone, Linwood, who's, you know, managing it and updating it, I think that's great.
Okay, so if we do that, let me screen share again because let me go back. Because there's another way to look at this is instead of the like businesses, I'm thinking about like the Northern Neck Hidden History Trail, or you know, other things that would be relevant that you want to be associated with.
Like the clack.
Yeah, it could be made core, just the website, separate from just the, you know, the digitized business listing section. It could be whatever you want it to be. But having those links and connections really goes a long way to driving up your web, you know, the traffic on your website. And you don't have to have images. You know, people like images, and they this could be the image that you see here could be a logo. It could be, you know, an image that's symbolic of the organization or whatever.
So I think we do need to give you a list of, I mean, I think I did mention Clack to Susan Tyron.
Yeah.
I think Unity in the Community, I think Juneteenth, I mean, what other?
Lancaster County, Virginia Historical Association.
Hidden History Trail.
I mean, maybe the Lancaster County Chamber, or anything that's economically oriented that would be helpful to people or to small business. So those are decisions y'all would have to make. I just have a place for it.
So I think we as a group need to just like compile the list of those things and send them to Susan.
So, and if, you know, I can pick and choose on the videos myself, but I think that's something you all really want to weigh in on, about which videos you'd like to be featured, and they can be changed monthly. You know, it doesn't, that's the beauty of a website. It shouldn't be static. It should be fluid.
Susan, this is sort of
Yeah.
just jumping in. I have an image to suggest, and I don't know if it would go on the map page or not, but if we're using images from national places like the Legacy Museum, CNN did a program with one of their anchors, Victor Blackwell, where they traced in connection with the opening of the American or International Museum of African American History in Charleston, where they traced his lineage to the Vini family in 17th century Northumberland County.
I
And they
heard about that. Yes.
They have a lovely historic map of, with sepia tones and all that. If you could maybe lift that off their website or.
That would be like that would be that we couldn't do that because that map art belongs to them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that kind of stuff you have to stay away from. Unless you've actually reached out to the organization and solicited their thumbs up to let you use it. But like using anything like that, that is, you're asking for issues because they don't, they pay a lot of money for that. So,
yep.
So I mean, I'm like, if y'all have other images, the images set the tone for the website. I mean, we could look at more area images, but I was looking at, and this is just my interpretation, okay? It doesn't mean, it's not the only way to do this, is that I see this as, it's so human being centric. That images of people interacting is what we want the visitor to walk away with that feeling, with that sense. Now that's how I see it, but this is your gig, so if you all want to go in a different direction, we can do that. And I have a lot of area images that you could use. You would have permission to use. But to me, they don't say as much as people interacting. And in a perfect world, we'd have photographs of you all in those kind of scenarios, real photographs, but we don't have that. So it's up to y'all, really.
Now you mentioned having some images from Unity in the Community.
Yes, I haven't. So Tom Martin photographed and sent a whole body of photography, which I haven't looked at yet from that event. So I will work that into it, and we can look at this again. I mean, maybe that's what we need to do.
Yeah, because I was thinking we need to put some more mature people
right
on the website. Because I mean, we have children, then we have the young adults, but what about those 55 and 60, 70-year-olds in the community as well? Because that's who we're also trying to reach out to in particular, because those are some of the mindsets that we want to facilitate change.
I understand. Okay, well, so let's talk about the next step, because I don't think this is one and done. Just here.
Oh.
I mean, I am happy to make those changes. I fully expected to. Let me just say that. So when, in addition to what I've already heard, do you all want to regroup as an organization and give me, I'd like to get feedback all together, because then I can take all of that and do what I have to do. How do you want to move forward? I was really hoping that we could get this thing launched by mid-July. If you all felt like you were ready to do that.
So we don't have another steering committee meeting until the 18th of July.
Okay,
As a group, do you think that, I mean, I think maybe, I don't know what time it is right now. Yeah, so maybe after, maybe we take 10 minutes as a group, Susan, after you've presented, and we just have a quick wrap up. And then we decide if we're going to add another steering committee meeting before the 18th of July or if we just do it via email, everybody can send me their additions, changes, whatever, and then I send it to you at one time.
I think that's fine. I think that's,
Okay.
this is on your timeline. I find, and I appreciate your patience. I finally was able to allocate a block of time to get this done, or to get it mostly done. So, why don't you all just let me know how you want to move forward once you're able to, talk amongst yourselves.
And I mean, I think, we want to actually, capitalize on the momentum that we have going too. So I don't really want to put this off till July 18th. I think it would be better if we can, get back to you, as you said, if at all possible, with the majority of it by Monday. And then maybe on July 18th, do you happen to be around? Maybe we look at it again at 15 minutes of our steering committee meeting.
I'm sure I could do that. July is pretty wide open for me. So, so just let me know. Sure.
Okay.
So,
Does anybody?
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do y'all have any other questions or? And that's why I asked Tom to record this too, so you could take a look at the site again on your own time.
So Tom, will you forward the recording to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I will forward the link to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, thanks so much, and
Susan, thank you so much.
Thank you
Really
Thank
for all
you,
appreciate
your work.
Susan.
Is there any chance that everybody else can stay on the line for just a sec so we can just briefly chat about this?
1 second.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna bow out. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day and stay cool.
Thank you, Susan.
Well, you too. Thank you.
Really appreciate
Okay,
it.
thanks a bunch. Y'all take care.
Okay.
And I'm leaving. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.